Before we begin, viewer discretion is advised. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. What follows is the verbatim testimony from Day 8 of the federal trial against Sean Diddy Combs. Jennifer Lawrence has just been unsealed as a federal witness, protected until now not for her fame, but for what she saw, nearly endured, and courageously exposed. It all started in 2012 with a torn, handwritten letter addressed to whoever's pulling the strings. At age 22, Jennifer warned, "I won't let you buy me. I won't disappear. I won't be the next Cassie." Cassie hadn't yet sued. Jennifer took the stand. "I thought I was attending a charity gala for young actors. Instead, I was driven to a gated mansion, my phone confiscated, and handed a release form. There were no cameras, just dark corridors, red lights, men in suits, women in masks. They told me it was a game, but once the doors locked, no one left early. You smiled, you played along, and you prayed you didn't walk into the wrong room." She described a numbered door, not a name. A terrified girl emerged in tears. Another never returned. Exhibit 17A, a sealed medical report, confirmed Jennifer's shock, dissociation, and trauma. Publicly blamed on exhaustion after the Hunger Games, she spent 3 sleepless days haunted by that hallway. Asked if she'd witnessed criminal behavior, Jennifer answered plainly, "Yes. One girl looked younger than me. When I asked who she was, I was told, 'She's here for training,' as if she didn't even exist." Reading from her 2012 letter, Jennifer declared, "I don't want the car. I don't want the contract. I want to survive this industry, that's all." For 5 years, she stayed silent until 2017, when indirect invitations resurfaced. Networking retreats, panels, and one encrypted email from Ariel D promising no press, just peace. She declined. Days later, an unmarked envelope appeared in her trailer. Her original unsigned NDA reminder scrawled across it in red. She journaled Exhibit 17E. "If I disappear, send this letter. It started in the Red Room. It ends here." Even senior celebrities hinted at her ordeal. In 2019 at the Oscars, an unnamed actress whispered, "Be careful who's still watching." Exhibit 17. G, a flash drive left at her doorstep, blank. But 2 weeks later, a paparazzo who'd photographed her vanished near Mulholland Drive. His phone was found shattered. His case remains unsolved. Next, Exhibit 17. H, a leaked PR memo from Combs Global describing reactive messaging for young stars. Jennifer's redacted name appeared with the note, "Unlikely to escalate due to brand protection instincts." "They were right," she admitted. "I stayed quiet, I smiled, I stayed booked, but I haven't slept right in 10 years. She confirmed hush money clauses hidden in lucrative deals and that she walked away every time. "Do you believe you were the only one?" the prosecutor asked. "No," Jennifer replied. "Some walked in, some never walked out." On day 9, Jennifer returned in plain black, no makeup. Contracts were dissected. Buried arbitration waivers and legacy disruption clauses designed to silence. Exhibit 18C revealed identical terms in multiple female artists' agreements. One A-list actress texted, "If you value peace, don't go there." Mirrors had become code for "you are being watched." A 2022 gala confrontation. A Diddy lawyer sneered, "Still untouchable? You should have signed the first time." Jennifer shook free. "I'm done. I'm not afraid anymore." Finally, she read Exhibit 18, her 2012 letter submitted in a deposition. "I am not a victim. I am not a product. I am not a secret. If this letter reaches you, it means I chose myself over your silence, and you don't own me anymore." The jury was shaken. Jennifer's ordeal wasn't just hidden parties and NDAs, it was a system built on fear. By speaking out, she didn't just survive. She shattered the silence and opened the door for every other voice still trapped behind it. 10 years from now, what will you regret doing way too much of interviews if you go resurrect one person from history and put them in the world today? Who would it be, Chris? So how do you deal with stress? Not very well. Christian Speak started trending. Before we begin, viewer discretion is strongly advised. This video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. What you're about to hear is the verbatim courtroom testimony from Day 8 of the federal trial against Sean Diddy Combs. This is the first time Jennifer Lawrence has been named as a sealed federal witness. Her identity was protected until now, not just because of her celebrity, but because of what she saw, what she nearly became part of, and what she refused to be silent about even when silence was safer. The testimony begins with a document, not a contract, not an NDA, but a letter handwritten, torn, dated 2012. The heading reads, "To whoever's pulling the strings, this is your last warning. I won't let you buy me. I won't disappear, and I won't be the next Cassie." She was 22 when she wrote that. Cassie hadn't even filed her lawsuit yet. "Judge Ms. Lawrence, you may begin in your own words. I was invited to a private gala in Beverly Hills. I was told it was a charity event for young actors. Just creatives, film branding, development. I was young. They said I'd be one of the lucky few, but I wasn't lucky. I was bait. She described being driven by a black SUV with no plates. Her phone was taken at the gate. She was asked to sign a release. She assumed it was for photos or a panel. But there were no cameras, just red lights, dark hallways, men in suits, and women in masks. They said it was just a game, that I didn't have to participate. But once the door closed, I realized no one was allowed to leave early. You just smiled, you played your part, and you prayed you didn't end up in the wrong room. She saw a door labeled with a number, not a name. A girl came out crying. Another never came back. The prosecution introduced Exhibit 17A, a sealed report from Jennifer's team, confirming she returned from that night in shock with documented dissociation and trauma symptoms. She was placed on a brief media hiatus in 2012, publicly blamed on exhaustion after her breakout role in the Hunger Games. I didn't sleep for 3 days. I kept picturing that hallway, that smell, that sound. I still hear it sometimes. Then came the moment that stopped the courtroom cold. Jennifer was asked if she had witnessed any criminal behavior, not in the legal sense, but morally. Yes, she said. One of the girls looked younger than me. I asked someone who she was. He said, she's just here for training, like she didn't even exist. The prosecution allowed her to read aloud from her original letter dated that same week. I don't want the car. I don't want the contract. I don't want to be someone's puppet with good lighting. I want to survive this industry, that's all. Judge, did you wish to pause? Jennifer shook her head no. Because it doesn't matter who I am. Fame doesn't protect you in rooms like that. No one is famous. You're either useful or replaceable. The clerk entered one final note for the record. This testimony was delivered under seal. Ms. Lawrence has declined all press interviews. This is her only statement. The letter, the transcript, and Jennifer's trembling voice weren't just evidence. They were a warning. The judge gave Jennifer a glass of water. She didn't touch it. The prosecutor resumed with a sharper tone. They asked what came next. 5 years after the gala, 5 years of silence, 5 years of pretending she was fine. Ms. Lawrence, did anyone from Mr. Combs's circle contact you again after the original event? Jennifer nodded. Yes, in 2017. Different people, but the same energy. After the Hunger Games success and her Oscar win, she began receiving invites through indirect channels, branded campaigns, panel appearances, networking retreats. One stood out. A woman named Ariel D, listed as a creative liaison, reached out via encrypted email. We're curating a retreat for forward-thinking female talent hosted by Sean Lovecums. Santa Anne's off-grid. No press. Just peace. Jennifer declined, but Ariel didn't let it go. A week later, Jennifer's phone rang from a blocked number. It wasn't like last time. That house is gone. The tunnels are sealed. This is about rebirth. She hung up and reported the call. Her legal team advised her not to pursue it, but the next day she found an envelope in her trailer. Inside, her original unsigned NDA from 2012. Her name typed at the top. Reminder. Scribbled across the front in a red ink. That broke her. She wrote a new journal entry, Exhibit 17. If I disappear, send this letter. It wasn't an accident. It started in the red room. It ends here. The courtroom was motionless. Then the prosecutor shifted course. No longer about rooms or NDAs, but about people. Miss Lawrence, at any point did another public figure acknowledge your silence? Even indirectly? Jennifer nodded. Once in 2019 at the Oscars, an unnamed senior actress pulled her aside and said, I saw your name on a list. Just be careful who's still watching. Jennifer refused to identify her. Exhibit 17G, a photo Jennifer privately took in April 2022. A handwritten envelope left at her doorstep with a single flash drive taped inside. She never plugged it in. She turned it over to her legal team. The drive was blank. 2 weeks later, a tabloid photographer who had taken unauthorized shots of Jennifer at a private event went missing. His phone pinged once in the hills near Mulholland Drive. It was later found screen shattered. Battery removed. The case is still open. I didn't want to connect the dots. I didn't want to believe it. But what if that flash drive was just to test me? What if someone else paid the price for my not playing along? The judge reminded the courtroom that speculation would not be included in the record, but allowed the emotional weight to remain. Finally, she read Exhibit 18, her 2012 letter submitted in a deposition. I am not a victim. I am not a product. I am not a secret. If this letter reaches you, it means I chose myself over your silence, and you don't own me anymore. Witness dismissed. The jury was shaken. Jennifer's ordeal wasn't just hidden parties and NDAs. It was a system built on fear. By speaking out, she didn't just survive. She shattered the silence and opened the door for every other voice still trapped behind it.